Yeah. Just me like laughing, snorting.
Get the pagan snorts.
Hot. Yeah.
Hot.
Whatever. Hot tamale. Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. It's the Replayer Podcast. I am Pagan, your host this week, and joining me as always is my co-host, Dan.
Hello.
Well, hello.
Wow.
And if you're joining us for the first time, we are a Replayer Podcast based around the Retro Replay show, and we discuss kind of news, games, and anything that happened on the show that we kind of found interesting, which is pretty much every show.
Smart.
Every show
Smart.
is smart.
Remind people why they're listening to the Replayer Podcast.
Yeah.
We haven't done that. We used to do that. We used to do that.
We did. We used to do that. We used to open it with that. And I thought, like, if anybody's joining for like the first time,
a new listener,
might be nice to, a new listener. Listener, if you're listening and you are new, you pop us like a little thing in the chat or the comments or something, just so that we know that you're there. That would be great. Thanks.
Yeah. Especially if you don't want to go back and listen to the rubbish episodes from the beginning.
Back in the day. I thought they were all right, actually. No, we had a good run. So this week we're just going to have a little chat. There are some, events that happened this week. And one of the biggest events was obviously Cyberpunk 2077 was released this week on all platforms.
Finally.
It only took 84 years.
And 24 delays.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but really good. I have had I've been very lucky to have downloaded the game and purchased it, and I'm playing it on my PC. I don't play PC games, as Dan well knows, so I'm terrible at it naturally.
Well, I mean, you put all that time and energy into building a gaming PC.
That's what I thought.
What better way than to play Cyberpunk?
That's what I thought. That is what I thought. I thought that, I've spent a lot of money building this. It's my first ever PC build, and I had just a crazy amount of ideas for games. And then, Cyberpunk 2077 was coming out 2020. It might as well be 2020. Fucking right. It's the longest year ever recorded.
The
longest year. But it looks so good. I'm very impressed by this game. I think it was well worth the wait. There's some glitches to iron out for sure. Dan, are you playing on console?
I am playing it on my Xbox Series X.
Okay.
So it's not a next gen version of the game, but it's probably running as best as it can next to like a high end gaming PC or the PS5, because there has been a lot of talk about the like base PS4 and Xbox Ones are struggling to play this game. And honestly, I'm not surprised. Like CD Projekt Red is an incredible studio that makes very massive games, and they look amazing. Like anyone who's played The Witcher 3 knows what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And that game gets a lot of praise for how beautiful it is. I never expected Cyberpunk to not push consoles, especially to their limit, especially now what is the last gen.
Yes.
They said the game was going to be built for PS4, Xbox One, but it's coming at the very end of their life cycle. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't surprise me that those consoles are struggling to, keep up with this game.
For sure. I think I've seen some like side by sides from PS4 trying to play it, and then PS4 Pro, especially, and now the PS5 and the Series X. It's incredible how far technology has developed in terms of in terms of the space, the gap between PS4 and PS5. And I would presume the space is the same between the Xboxes as well. I just think it's crazy how this game really does push everything to the limit. And I think even my computer handles it really well. I think it looks beautiful and it runs smoothly. But I mean, I have a GeForce 2070 Super. Is that right?
What's that? Our GeForce RTX. Yeah. I'm reading the box.
GeForce, it's right there. A GeForce RTX 2070 Super. And that's 2 or 3 models back. And it's beautiful. So I can only imagine what it looks like on a 3080 right now. I have no idea. But yeah, I like it so far. I think it's So for anybody that doesn't know, I'm not a first person shooter person. I don't play those first person games. And I have recently tried Witcher 3 on PlayStation 4. And then I've just downloaded it off Steam because I got it for €11. What a bargain, can I just say? €11 for fucking Witcher 3. Listen, anyway, I got it. It was a good deal.
Was it the complete edition?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was insane. It was down from like 40 something euro to like 11 euro on Black Friday. And I was like, oh, yes.
I have the complete edition on Xbox, and I know I got it on sale, but I don't remember how much I paid for it. But I know it wasn't a lot. It was pretty cheap.
Pretty cheap. Yeah, I couldn't believe that it was this cheap. I think I got it on the PlayStation for somewhere between 20 and 30 euro. But for PC, everyone's been like, oh, you should play this on PC. And I was like, and I rolled my eyes until I actually built my own PC. Yeah, right. PC enthusiasts. Until I built my PC, and then I saw what they were talking about, and I downloaded it and played it, and I was like, holy shit. This was a week before Cyberpunk came out, and it blew my mind. So I was like, okay.
Reminder, that game originally came out in 2015.
Right? So imagine my enthusiasm when I put Cyberpunk 2077 on the PC and ran it for the first time. If anybody wants to go see that is available right now on the Replay Podcast YouTube channel. We did a live stream of the first hour, including like customization of the character, and then the first, entry of the Nomad story. You can go and have a look at that on our YouTube channel.
Right, because you played Nomad out of the 3 stories available. There's 3 backgrounds essensely, like to start your character off of.
Stories. I am so excited. I don't actually ever play RPGs either. So I am probably going to be obsessed with this game.
You think so?
I'm predicting this because apparently you can like really customize your whole life and build your whole, like, get a house and a car and everything. I was like, whoa. Okay, cool. I'm down. Sign me up. I'm such a noob. Fuck.
The little bit of time that I've spent with the game so far, I've gotten almost like a Grand Theft Auto vibe from it. Whereas like if they ever built a Grand Theft Auto RPG where you could actually like go down into your character, and I mean, they added the ability to go into first person mode in Grand Theft Auto. So it kind of has that aesthetic, but it's like the game world and the way you interact with it is very similar to Grand Theft Auto, where they're trying to make it as close to real life as possible. But obviously Cyberpunk has much more RPG story and elements than a Grand Theft Auto. But I'm just saying more like, it's weird that it has that feeling, but it's an RPG. It's kind of like, I guess, Red Dead.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's a little Red Dead-ish. Yeah. You've played this as well. How did you choose a different path? Did you, like, how are you finding it right now? I
started my playthrough last night after we did our stream of it, and I chose the Corpo. Essentially, of the 3 starting stories, the Corpo one has you as like, you start off as someone who works for the Arasaki Corporation. That's kind of like the big conglomerate that's in the world. And you're kind of like this CEO's like right-hand man. And right off the bat, not to get too spoilerly, but he gives you a mission to do something that's, say, not so, in the best of things. Right. Like he's trying to take down another person within this, the company. And you end up like losing your status. You get yanked out of the corporation. You get thrown on the streets, left to die, essentially. And I've noticed you interact with the other character, Jackie, in every storyline. Yes. So essentially all the 3 origins merge into one point. Just the first hour or so is different per background. Okay. But I've been playing it on my Xbox Series X. I actually haven't had any visual glitches like you did playing on the PC. Yeah, I had a lot of janky, I think like environment coming through objects and stuff. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, we were seeing like your background environment in the foreground. Yeah, in the foreground, but also like we're indoors and I can see the environment outdoors coming through the walls. It was not a good glitch. I did have one interesting glitch. Okay. There was the only other issue I've had so far was in the beginning doing the tutorial mission. When I came out of one of the tutorial missions, my character was kind of auto walking and like just walking into the wall, and I had to like stop him and redirect him. But otherwise I had a weird clipping glitch where I went into my character screen where you could see like my gear, and I was looking at the different pieces of clothing I had to equip. and a certain member of my body was protruding through my clothes in a very weird way. And I was like,
okay.
Interesting. And then I unpaused the game and I looked down and I didn't see anything. And I was like, okay. I'm not walking around with things hanging out.
We got to talk about this. I have never seen a game where you can customize genitalia. That is so weird, in my own opinion. I think why? I've never played an RPG, but it just I don't know. Like I'm not sure why I can customize boobs and vagina and pubic hair. And now I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna see a lot of sex in this game. And I don't know. I'm such a, like, I would make a lot of dirty jokes and I'm like not a prude or anything. But when it comes to like games and stuff, I get really like, oh, this is weird. Like the opening of freaking Witcher, where they're coming out of the bath. I was like, whoa. I don't need to see any of this. This is not necessary for me as a story person, as like receiving a story. Anyway, I think that's incredibly fascinating. I understand it. It really does heighten the level of, I guess, customization. And I'm very impressed with everything else that you can customize in the characters in terms of like nails, teeth, face marks, tattoos, hair, 30 something hairstyles.
Quite literally anything and everything.
Yeah.
The different eyeball, like iris shapes and things you can do.
I draw the line at a wang slider though. You know what I mean?
The wang slider.
The wang slider, I just draw the line. I don't understand why that is a thing. And what the other thing that...
That being said, hold on, let me interject really quick.
No.
That I have played other games where you can adjust the size of your body parts.
Can you? What have you played?
RPGs mostly.
Is Pornhub sponsoring any of these games? Because they should be.
But
Cyberpunk
that being said, the other
2077.
games you couldn't actually see the body parts. There was usually undergarments over top.
Okay, but here's my question, right? Okay, so the boobs are customizable, the vagina is customizable, the pubic hair is customizable. In a man, why would you even bother with the wang slider thing? Would you not just go full throttle and like put it all the way up? Surely every male player is like, yep. And then just going all the way up.
Why is there not an option for just 18-inch penis and that's it? That's the option.
Throwback to Retro Replay's episode a couple of weeks ago. Claim disability. Just play the whole game on disability.
I was going to say, unless it's like someone wants to live vicariously, like I wonder what it's like to have a small penis.
Yeah. Like the chuckle is all like, yeah. I wonder what it's like because I don't have one.
I would say the other reverse is probably the inverse is probably the more true, where somebody wants to live vicariously through with a larger penis. That'd be true. Yeah. I'm kind of like, why do you have that on there? You know, everyone's going to just hike that thing up to fullest. Yeah. Anyway, that's my like quick first impressions of Cyberpunk 2077. I think it, honestly, I do think it's a beautiful game. Holy crap. It's stunning. Have you played without the nudity sensor on yet?
No. So for context, to anybody who's not watching this, and we watched the stream, where I played the first hour live on YouTube, we put the nudity sensor on because of YouTube. So we wanted to put it on YouTube. Can I toggle that off now? Like, I
would imagine so.
Oh,
so on that question, you continued to play the game after we streamed, and I assume you completed that first mission where you have to go and rescue the girl.
Yes, indeed.
In my experience in that mission, she's completely naked.
Oh,
and you
interesting.
can see everything.
No, she has a bra and pants on.
Okay, so that's what the nudity sensor is doing. Then it put clothes on her. Because if you turn that off, she's completely nude.
Okay. This must be a very sorry, it's pagan pause. I'm thinking. This must be a very like large statement, no pun intended, but definitely pun intended. That they're making, including this nudity in the game. Like, realistically, does this contribute to the story, or is this just gratuitous nudity, like a Game of Thrones type deal where it's just nudity everywhere and you got to accept it because it's not at all relevant to the story, but sure, look, it's something.
I think you could make an argument for both sides, honestly. I think on one hand, you could say it's nudity for nudity's sake, like Game of Thrones, because it sells, sex sells. Everybody knows that. But I also think that within the context of the world of Cyberpunk, it's a normal thing. If you go deep into like the actual lore and storytelling, it's what is perceived to be normal in that world.
Right.
That it would be more in this context. And it's also a very mature, dark sense. Like that first mission, you're saving a woman who's being harvested for her cybernetic implants. Yes. She's in a bathtub full of ice. Why wouldn't she be naked?
Yeah, that's fair. But then why
just
would she?
Just in the context.
You know what I mean? Like in the context is on like, why would she? Where she's got slots for these USB
that's why you have the option to choose whether she has clothes on or not.
That's fair. No,
it's pure choice, honestly. It's pure choice on the gamer to experience the game how you feel you would
I don't know.
prefer.
I think at the moment, I think I'm okay. I'm comfortable with it. I'm happy with the sensor on. Like, again, I'm not a prude or anything, but I just don't see how it contributes to story. But then maybe it's a truer gameplay experience when you play with it off. There you go. I'm looking forward to get more into it and playing more of it as we go. And like I say, I do think I will become obsessed with this game. I've never played an RPG before. I never knew you could customize fingernail polish.
Oh, you can in lots of games, honestly.
I'm very happy about this.
I'm going to have to try to find what other games I've played that had a weighing slider. Because I know I've played at least one other RPG.
Below. If anybody knows, just list them out. I would be happy to see all of
Shout out to Liam for the coin in the phrase weighing slider.
Shout out to Liam McIntyre. Liam McIntyre or McNamara.
There was another RPG. I can't think of it. I remember that there was an option to choose, and Google you would just watch it swell.
Oh my God. Why? Okay. Anyway.
I don't remember what it was though. I'm like,
yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
A strange one. Anyways, moving on. The other big event this week was, of course, the Game Awards 2020, where basically The Last of Us wins everything.
Surprise.
The Last of Us 2
surprise.
Won everything. And I have some thoughts. I have some feelings.
Can I say something real quick before you jump in? I was
going to say, how do you feel?
Okay. Like I said, surprise, not surprise, sarcasm, if you didn't know.
Just in case, I need to clarify.
We talked about the Game Awards a few weeks ago, and I said, I think The Last of Us is going to win.
Yes.
So I wasn't surprised that it did win. And I feel like the fact that it won almost everything, it's tough because I've watched a lot of the Game Awards, and every year I'm tossed up between it feels almost rigged or it feels like something isn't quite right.
Right.
I mean, I know The Last of Us 2 has a very passionate following, and I know there's people who even didn't like the game, but probably say, okay, it deserves it though. It deserves these awards. I think it's interesting that it's like Last of Us and Among Us. Like Among Us is the next closest thing that won more awards.
Yes. I was going to say, I was like, Among Us and The Last of Us took home the majority of the awards. And I am so happy for both of them. Honestly, I think they're both amazing. And what the games did was incredible. I disagreed with, I think, only one, maybe even two awards that they won. Not that they didn't deserve them. I was shocked that they did win over, say, like Ghost of Tsushima. Narrative, I didn't 100% agree that The Last of Us Part 2 was, I guess, the better narrative among every other game. I think that from what I've heard, Hades had a good chance, and the Ghost of Tsushima has a great chance as well. And I just felt like the narrative with The Last of Us Part 2 was the only thing in The Last of Us Part 2 that let me down. I'm
still salty that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order isn't anywhere on any of it. No, it wasn't even nominated. It wasn't nominated for.
It was definitely nominated. It was nominated for,
I think, Best Action Game. I think,
I think
it was in one. It was in one category, and I'm
Yeah.
actually disappointed that Doom didn't win that.
That's the other one that I didn't disagree. That I did disagree with is because action adventure game should have been Doom.
Yeah, 100%.
So those are the only two that I really kind of had an issue with in terms of like that action adventure, especially. I think Doom
Yeah.
It's just a better action game. Like, come on.
Because The Last of Us didn't really have a lot of action.
No, but it's an adventure game, right? It's action adventure.
Yeah, but it was so slow paced and it dragged out and it had such those long lulls.
This is my issue. Yeah.
Yep.
Other than that, like I think everything else is amazing. Audio design, beautiful. Game direction, beautiful.
For sure.
Innovation, oh my God, 100% yes. Innovation in accessibility, sorry.
Yeah.
And performance, I actually voted for Laura. I think she deserved it. I think Abby is a great character and what she did with the character was really amazing.
I'm actually really happy that Laura Bailey won that because I loved Abby as a character.
Same.
So I back that. I'm actually really happy that she got that.
Yes, me too. Yeah, I think that those are the only two things that I kind of disagreed with. But Among Us taking home some of the best, like best multiplayer and best mobile game. Of course it would. Of course it would. Humble beginnings.
That was very heartwarming though to see the Among Us team basically like the girl that was like accepting the reward was like on the verge of tears
crying.
The entire time.
I know, it's so cute, and I think like it's amazing for a game. I'm pretty sure that came out in 2018.
Yeah, it's 2 years old now.
Yeah, if it wasn't for COVID, like would that game have been as successful as it is right now? Probably not. But it's been so successful, and I'm so happy for them as well because, goddamn, that's amazing. And then they released a new map.
Nice.
They released a new Among Us map, which is so good for players. I kind of wish they had released maybe 2 or 3 maps, if I'm honest. Yeah. But just the one map is fine for now. I think maybe we can expect more from them anyway because they stopped. I don't know if anybody knows this, but they stopped making Among Us Part 2. Like they stopped making a second game to focus on the first game, because it was getting so much great attention. Yeah. So yeah, I think like it would be really, really cool to see more maps on Among Us.
It was one of those awards that I was actually really pleasantly happy. I was going to say surprised, but I'm not as surprised but I'm really happy that Phasmophobia got the best debut indie game.
100%. I would agree with you.
Because I had only just heard that game even existed like 2 months ago. And it's been one of the things that me and my friends play constantly. And like, it's not a great game. It's not like leaps and bounds phenomenal in like video, like visually or graphically or game design, but like the audio design and the experience has been so fun. And the developers have been really great about supporting and changing things that need to be fixed. And just for a game that I've never heard of, and it just kind of out of the blue came into my focus and my attention and started playing. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I think these guys deserve some recognition for making. It
deserved it for sure. Like it definitely did deserve it for sure. That was one of the games I think I voted for as well. I think it was just beautiful. Like it came out of nowhere. It surprised everybody. It's scary AF. And then when you play together as a team, like it's not as scary. And I don't know. I think it's great.
It's also one of the few horror games that actually makes me scream like a little girl, as some would put it.
Well, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I think honestly, like Phasmophobia really is a great multiplayer game. I appreciate that Among Us won the multiplayer game, but I also appreciate that like Phasmophobia was given the nod in that as well, because that shit is good, and I would like to see more of it on Get Good. Yeah,
that's not going to happen, unfortunately.
Saying, oh come on, it's a new prisoner, like prison
hopeful.
Level.
Oh, the prison level is great.
Hopeful.
The prison level is awesome. It's actually one of my favorite maps now.
Yeah, I just come on now. Come on, Liam. Come on, Todd. Maybe if we dared them, I don't know. Maybe that'll work. Who knows? We'll find a way. Yeah, we had some good announcements as well, other than the Among Us map, which is so cool. I really thought there were 2 great games that I was interested in. The first one, obviously, Crimson Desert. Is it South Korean company?
Yes.
Korean company. That looks incredible. Like, holy crap, that looks so good.
As long as it doesn't fall under what holds back Black Desert a little bit, because the Crimson Desert, as we talked about a little bit before recording, is made by the studio that did Black Desert. And it seems to be a single player RPG within the universe of Black Desert. And the one thing that the studio does really well is make a game look extremely pretty. But Black Desert, if you actually play it, does not run very well, especially on console. And it's an MMO, and there's a lot of on-screen clutter and garbage that takes away from how good it looks, because the actual graphics look pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that Crimson Desert can get away from that problem. Like if it's a single player game, it should be able to scrap all the on-screen overlay garbage that Black Desert has. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, I agree. It looked awesome. Yeah,
it looks really good. And Adam turned to me when we were watching it and was like, Ubisoft is in trouble. Yeah, because it looks really good and it does look like a Ubisoft game. That I think I could definitely play. The other game that I really thought looked very interesting that I am in no way ever going to play is it Castillo Protocol? Castillo Protocol? Castillo Protocol?
Yes. That is 100% a Dan game.
Yeah, that looked definitely like a Dan game.
And that looked like a heck no. NPG, a not Pagan game.
A not Pagan game, absolutely. There was just like I saw the trailer and I was like, wow. Nope, I'm never playing that. But that looks good. I'll probably be asked to bloody stream it now or something. But it looks good. And it's very Dead Space vibes, which is a big nope for me because I'm scared so bad.
As soon as I saw the little like meter on the back of the guy's neck, I'm like, that's like Dead Space because he had the health meter on his spine.
Yeah.
In Dead Space. And then sure enough, the game is being headed by the ex-producer, director of Dead Space.
Yeah. Is there a baby mode on Dead Space?
I think there's an easy mode, but it's still going to be terrifying.
Damn it. Like if there was a baby mode on Dead Space, maybe I could play that. But
I mean,
because it looks like such a good game.
It's amazing. It will make you shriek and poop your pants. So
then absolutely not going to.
But there's an easy mode that gives you more health and more ammo, so you're less likely to die.
Okay, well that's probably the better one. What were your big ones for the game announcements this week?
I was actually really excited by the Evil Dead announcement. Mm-hmm. Which, because I am a fan of the old Evil Dead movies and games that have come out in the past. Yeah. And this game is being developed by Saber Interactive, which has also made the World War Z game, which was kind of like a Left 4 Dead knockoff. And this is looking to kind of follow suit where it's going to be like a 4-player co-op survival shooter. And I'm all down for that. I love me some co-op horror like that. So in the vein of Phasmophobia even, but it's going to be more like guns and blaze and blasting zombies kind of thing. And actually I had, oddly enough, as I was watching the Game Awards, I was literally talking to Brandy saying, I really hope we get to see what the Initiative is doing. And she went, what? Who? And I said, the Initiative is Xbox's new in-house triple or what they call a quadruple A studio. Mm-hmm. And they're based out of Santa Monica. They're kind of like Xbox's answer to PlayStation's Santa Monica studios. Mm-hmm. And we got an announcement. They're doing Perfect Dark, which I had heard some rumors about. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited and a little bit disappointed. So
disappointed? Why are you disappointed?
I'm a little disappointed because I was really hoping they'd be making a brand new IP. Because I was hoping new studio, new IP, something big, something crazy, some epic, awesome, like, you know, not first person, but like single player adventure game. And I mean, Perfect Dark has the potential to be that. Mm-hmm. The only thing is like Perfect Dark has a rough history where the original Perfect Dark is beloved. It was one of Rare's best games they ever made on the Nintendo 64. And then they tried to reboot Perfect Dark once already, and it wasn't great. And that was
really? They already tried?
Yes. They rebooted it for the Xbox 360. And it wasn't good. And it was, a lot of people were not happy. And again, it's all the Perfect Darks up till now have been first person shooters. Mm-hmm. I mean, the original Perfect Dark was one of the first person shooters. And that's kind of like a stigma with Xbox is it's all first person shooters. So I'm almost hoping that the new Perfect Dark might do something different.
Yes.
The trailer was really impressive, but it was just that it was a trailer. It didn't really show anything.
Yeah. I'm just rewatching like the trailer as you're speaking. Cause I'm like, okay, well, like how did I feel when it came out? And I was kind of like, man.
That being said,
you know what I mean? Like you just, Like you said, it's just a trailer.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't show you any gameplay. It doesn't give you much other than just kind of like setting and whatnot. And it establishes it is Perfect Dark. Joanna Dark, the main character, is still involved. I'm hopeful because Perfect Dark actually has a very cool world and story behind it. So I'd love to see them go really hard and heavy into that, because Perfect Dark is actually set in a cyberpunk future.
Yes.
So
I know that.
You know, it could have a lot of potential. I'm hoping they do something more along the lines of like a Splinter Cell. If they made it a third person stealth, like espionage game, that could be really cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Like, I mean, to be fair, I'm just not a big first person player. Like, I'm just not a first person gamer. I don't know much about the original Cyberpunk. Perfect Dark. I only just knew that it's not a PlayStation game because I didn't play it. That's all I knew about it. So I was like, okay, this is cool. And then, you know, I like researched a bit more, and it's a game that they're like revamping basically after 15 years. So it'll be interesting for people who actually really, really, really love that game and see it rebooted. Cool. And of course, our lovely Nolan.
Oh yeah.
Not Christopher Nolan. Nolan North.
Nolan North was there.
Nolan North. That guy. Isn't he from Retro Replay? I feel like he's from that show.
How do we know him?
How do we know him? Do we know him? Who is he? Nolan North and Tom Holland obviously did a little like joint presentation kind of thing. And I loved it. I thought it was so cool.
And Nolan presented the best multiplayer game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, oddly enough, I thought that was weird that Nolan was actually there.
Really? Why?
He was the only presenter that was there.
No,
everyone
Troy
else was
there
zoomed.
too.
I must have missed that.
I must have missed that one. Yeah. Yeah, Troy was there too, and he presented best narrative, I believe.
Okay. He didn't zoom in; he was physically on location, like Nolan was.
Yep. They were both on. They were both on location, so that was kind of cool. I enjoyed seeing people there, like actually there, and there was like some game hosts or some game devs there as well. Like the guys
they were all like zoomed in and stuff, weren't they?
No.
No, that's right. There was a few that were on stage with Jeff. They were on
stage. Yes. Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Sorry, I was just going to say that I'm actually happy that it was kind of like recorded without an audience. Because I think over the last couple of years, the Game Awards have gotten a little overzealous, and like they have this really over the top, like here's a big studio audience. There's a bunch of people here and they get to sit here awkwardly while we try to talk about games and Game Awards. And it was always, I don't know, it just didn't feel right.
You know what's interesting about the Game Awards? I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but like we love looking at the audience because there's such a crazy difference and contrast between who goes to this, who goes to the Game Awards. Some people are dressed way down, way down, jeans and a t-shirt and a hoodie that zips up. And there's some people there that are in suits and like really nice dresses and makeup. And you're like, what's the dress code here? Like what is going on exactly? Do people just come in? It's a very chill Game Awards. Like let's all face it, it's Game Awards, right? So it's kind of a nice chill vibe. Everybody's cool. But yeah, it's weird because you see some people walking around in shorts and a flip flops and then somebody in a full like tux, and it's just so odd to look at.
You could probably point out who in the crowd is journalists
nominated
and who is the audience, like just people who bought tickets to come and see it.
Yeah, to come and see it. Yeah. So I feel like a dress code would be nice, but then that would take away all my entertainment of like watching. Not that like it sounds watching. So horrible. It sounds like such like a judgy thing, but it's just interesting to see the contrast. Like there was no uniformity at all. It's not like, hey, come in and represent your style. It's like a smart casual. It's nothing like that. It's just like, hey, it's the Game Awards. Either come dressed up or you could wear some flip flops. That's also fine. Yeah, I think that's really interesting. But I'm happy with how it went. I think it worked really, really well with the Zoom audience as well. Like a Zoom nominees and everything. It was cool.
It felt less pretentious, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It didn't feel as inflated. So I was happy that it was very snappy, very quick moving. Because that's like my frustration with the past Game Awards, where it's like, it feels like they're just dragging out and padding things with a bunch of garbage. And it's like, all right, okay. And obviously most people are there for see who wins and announcements, because the Game Awards has been a big place for game announcements over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So it was good. Ultimately, I mean, as good as it can be for 2020.
For sure. In this crackpot of a year.
In this economy.
In this economy. Who's that? Shout out to Andrew.
Yes.
Economy. All right. Let's move on. So this week we had some amazing content.
Mm-hmm.
Some good content from Get Good with Liam and Todd. We had a PS5 unboxing.
A very sensual.
Yeah, a
PS5
very
unboxing.
sensual PS5. Oh my God. PS5 unboxing. Very, very sensual. Very sensual. PS5 unboxing. Mario Kart 8 Fall Guys playthrough as well. They were supposed to play Metal Slugs, but we just couldn't get it working on Parsec. It's just so crappy.
I was disappointed in that.
Yeah, I think they really want to make it work. They really, really, really want to try, but whatever way they're doing it, it's just not working. And I had the lovely pleasure of running the stream, the behind the scenes, and I feel like I need health insurance just for working with Richard, because those guys are going to give me a heart attack. I'm going to bust a lung or something from laughing too hard.
I was just saying, are you going to snort yourself to death?
I'm going to snort myself to death. I cannot contain myself, and I mute myself often, but not often enough. I still end up laughing on stream, and I'm like, I can't focus, because how Drew keeps his composure, I will never know. I do know he's a gent. That's probably why. But yeah, I mean, what did you make of this episode? Did you watch the full live stream?
I watched the majority of it. I did watch the full PS5 unboxing in the live chat, chatting with them and talking to the guys about things. It's actually, I think Liam references someone saying that the base of the PS5 screws in. And that was actually me trying to tell Liam, oh, you got to screw it in, because he's like, I think that just snaps in there. And I'm like, nah, mate, it's not that easy. And then I stuck around for Mario Kart, obviously, because I love Mario Kart. And I very quickly realized, I'm like, this is not the Switch version of Mario Kart they're playing.
No, the PC version.
And then I stuck around for Metal Slug, because I love Metal Slug, and I was really excited that they were going to play that. But of course, unfortunately, they were unable to get it working. There was a bit. We saw a little bit.
Yeah. And do you know what? I've actually played Metal Slug in Token in the arcade pub in Dublin. It's so good.
I have it from my original Xbox.
I was really looking forward to this. I really was looking forward to it, but they just couldn't get I guess what they're using is Parsec. So Todd can, I guess, access Liam's computer in a way. And then you can play 2-player as if you were side by side. But it just wasn't working. So that's absolutely shitty. And they played Fall Guys instead. Yeah,
which it had some fun moments. There were some funnies there, but I'm over Fall Guys.
Yeah, there's some fun moments in there.
The best part was just Liam's rage when he fell just short of getting a crown.
I think it didn't help that Liam was also raging in Mario Kart, where Todd was beating him. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He started playing, and then Liam has the controller, so he's playing on controller, and Todd was playing via Parsec on keyboard. So he was like, okay, well, now I have a handicap, so I guess you're going to be winning everything. And then, Liam was winning in the first few and having a good time. And then Todd came speeding in, actually knew the keys then, got used to everything, and then started winning the rounds. And then you could start to see the Liam rage build from there.
Really? I didn't pick up on that, but then again, I was kind of checked out. The later they went in the Mario Kart part of it, I was kind of like, okay, yeah. As
Todd was winning more, Liam got more annoyed. And then that just carried over into Fall Guys when he just couldn't win anything. And he came so close. I felt so bad. Oh my God. Literally, he was the last one standing. And the two of them must have fallen at the same time.
I think so, yeah.
And he must have hit the splurgy, whatever stuff it is, first.
The splurge.
Yeah, the splurgy stuff. I don't know what it is. The pink lava. I don't know what you're gonna call it. Oh, shut up.
The stuff that Fall Guys fall into.
The goopy stuff. The goopy stuff that they fall into. Yeah.
Nope, it's the splurge now.
Right. If you guys want to, so essentially if this is your first time listening to the podcast and you're not sure what it is, Get Good runs every Saturday from 5 p.m. PST for 3 hours live on YouTube. They have 3 segments, and their last segment is a wild card game that you can have a vote on if you're a member. It is going public now sometimes as well, but they're taking suggestions from members too. And it's just good to keep in touch with the community tab on YouTube so that you can join in with that kind of stuff. And we got very lucky this week because we had a members live. An Altered Beast live, right? With Liam and Todd
and Drew.
Right,
all made it.
Exactly. I kind of like that. I thought that was nice for Get Good. I know Nolan couldn't make it, but for both Liam and Todd to just hang out with some Altered Beast members was pretty great. Yeah,
it was pretty cool, especially when because Nolan wasn't there. Not to say I don't want Nolan to be there, but to have like a face to face with Liam and Todd. Like I've seen and talked to Liam in previous Zooms. That was the first time Todd's been there, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. And Todd was just so cool and passionate about seeing us, being like, oh my God, this is so great to see everybody, and like put names with faces kind of thing. And I was able to be like, hi, Todd, I was the one with the Godzilla controller. And he was like, oh yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, it's nice. I think like it really is a good perk to get to know them, I guess. And like, it is just a face to a name, so that when you're typing into chat, like Liam, Todd, Nolan, they know who you are. Again, if you're interested in what we're talking about, it's in the membership tab on Retro Replay YouTube channel. So feel free to go in there and have a look. This is specifically for Altered Beast. And next week, we're going to have one of our last cast Zooms of the year as well for Drew's Soup members and up, which is going to be so cool. Yeah, I think like I'm really enjoying Get Good. I'm loving where they're coming from. I'm liking that they play new games as well. Like it's not just like, I know it's on Retro Replay and they had like the option to play Metal Slug. But I'm enjoying that they're going to play new games. And I think like there is definite interest in playing like Cyberpunk 2077 on the stream and everything, because it's just brand new stuff.
Trying to play Cyberpunk.
Poor Liam.
And his crappy Aussie internet.
Feel bad for him sometimes.
I definitely heart those guys because they both appreciate the Xbox.
Yeah. Okay. So in the Zoom, like Todd, Todd was like, I don't know about PlayStation. Like I'm mainly an Xbox player. I don't have a PlayStation. I could have choked. I was like, wait, what? Don't break my heart here, Todd. Like what's going on?
Double down on that. Like
Xbox.
It was Josh or Michael asked about him having a PlayStation 4 because they want to play Tekken with Todd and Liam. And Todd was just flat out like, I don't have a PS4.
Broke my heart.
And I was like, I have an Xbox with Tekken. If you want to play with me. And then they were talking about the PlayStation 5 and I was talking about the controller and I held up my PlayStation 5 controller and they're like, yeah. And they're like, and I think it was Liam said, how do you like it? And I was like, yeah, it's good. It feels like an Xbox controller. And they were both like, yeah. And I was
yeah. Todd is 100% about that. Like in the PS5 unboxing as well. He was like, oh, it's a really nice white Xbox controller. I guess their Xbox player is kind of nice though.
I love Liam's passion for the Xbox Elite controller. Like he loves that thing.
Yep. I know a lot of Xbox players that love that thing.
Like, I had one for a while.
For a while? What happened? You gave it away?
I ended up selling it because I was like, I'm going to save this for when I'm playing like something really hardcore.
Right.
And then when I was playing with it, it's got the removable thumbsticks and 90% of the time I would just sit there and play with the thumbstick because they're magnetized. So you could pull it off and it would snap back on, literally like you were just doing with your AirPods. That same kind of motion. So
addictive. Yeah.
It's just a fidget toy now.
It is. Yep. Yeah, it's a good show. I think they did break my heart. They're not PlayStation players, but get over it. No, it's fine.
It's cool. They can play Xbox with me.
It's cool. Whatever. They can play whatever. I think they play a lot on PC anyway, especially Todd.
They do a lot of PC.
Now plays a lot on PC. Yeah. Alrighty, moving on to the Retro Replay episode that we got this week. We had a really great episode with Ross Marquand from The Walking Dead. And then we saw Nolan play The Walking Dead Telltale game, which chef's kiss, honestly. Like, so good.
Have you played that?
I played a bit of it, yeah.
I know you played Batman Telltale games. I didn't know if you had played Walking Dead or you played it specifically for this episode.
Yes, for this one. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Love it. This is a good game. I think Telltale had a really good way of just after where they got to.
Okay.
Like I probably played like an hour or so and then wrote up whatever I needed to write on it. I think I got it from Steam. Did I get it from Steam or did somebody give this to me?
I think it was on PlayStation Plus at one point, and or I think it's on most platforms now under like either Game Pass or PlayStation. I
think it was on PlayStation Plus, and I think Adam had it. Yeah. He has it in his like cat. You know when they come out on PlayStation Plus and you can download them? Mm-hmm. We just have everything in our library, so I just went over.
Oh,
and
yeah,
was like, fuck.
Every month I'm in there like like if I never play it, I don't care. It's in my library.
Yeah, which is so thankful, obviously, because of Telltale like shutting down and everything. Those games are really hard to come by now. But yeah, they're still on like PlayStation stuff as well. They're on the PlayStation Store. But good game, and I think the opening of this game was really good, and I was very excited to see Nolan play it.
It was interesting to see Nolan play it, and like he had a very positive reaction to it. Like he got really engaged. The controls didn't seem to confuse him too much because honestly, the controls in the Telltale games can be a little confusing because they're not super intuitive, and they take a bit to kind of figure out like, okay, I got to move the cursor around and put it on things, and then it gives you different options of look at it, talk to it, whatever.
Yes.
But yeah, it was actually really cool and interesting to see Nolan engaging with a game and wanting to have sex with zombies. As
what
Nolan
was all that like?
would want to do. Poor Ross.
Man. Oh God. I feel like Ross was not embarrassed, but like, are we recording? You know what I mean? Like that kind of attitude, like, are you putting this on YouTube? Like, how is this relevant?
Yeah, there was a few times where Ross was like looking at the camera and it looked like he was like, okay, I know this is Nolan being Nolan, but are we actually having this conversation right now?
Yeah, and the impressions, like the impression off that we had going, walk in.
Wow.
The John Malkovich though, holy shit, was that good? Oh my God, that was good.
I think it was when he did his John Malkovich and he did John C. Reilly that it clicked in my brain that I've seen him before on Twisted Tunes with Nolan. And I was like, that's where I've seen this guy before. Like I've seen him on stage doing Twisted Tunes, doing those voices before. And I was like, oh yeah. Like he's got to be probably one of the best impressionists out there.
Makes sense.
It's incredible. Yeah.
I mean, he's so good. But then you got to give it to Nolan. Like Nolan's Jason Statham is fucking unreal. He's just so good at that. And his walk-in obviously is just perfect. So, Nolan's a talented motherfucker. And then he was singing in the beginning as well, singing a country song. Firstly, I love that he sang a country song. Yeah. Right? Calm down with your talent. Jesus Christ.
Put your talent away. You're going to make us go blind.
Yeah. Put your talent away. Fuck's sake.
He's got a massive
talent.
You knew where I was going.
I sure do. Yeah, that guy's fucking talented. I have never seen The Walking Dead though. Have you?
The TV show, I watched 4, maybe 5 seasons of it, and I started to lose interest. Okay. I haven't watched it since, mostly because it's kind of a similar reason to The Last of Us, where I really like The Last of Us as a survival horror game. Uh-huh. I don't really like The Last of Us for a human drama experience. And that's what The Walking Dead did.
I kind of, I'm all about the human drama experience. I'm not all about the zombie thing.
So you will really like the last few seasons of The Walking Dead.
I think I'd probably like the whole thing. I've just never seen it.
Season 4, the zombies don't matter anymore.
Huh. Okay.
Like they're there. They're a nuisance.
They're in the background. They're always there somewhere. Okay.
Like people are constantly just like stabbing zombies through a fence. Like they're safe. They're just like, well, yeah, no. Well, how's things going with Rachel over there? Did you guys have a baby yet? Just like they're having random, everyday conversations while murdering zombies.
I have. There was this game show, zombie game show UK, right? I'm trying to think of what it was called. Essentially, like what it was is like, okay. I think it's here. I survived a zombie apocalypse. This is a legit show on the BBC, and it was kind of fun, like to watch and stuff like that, because like they're thrown into like this filming lot. Just when you said like between like the drama and the action and stuff like that, I just thought of this is because like they're real life contestants, and then they have kind of like triggered a memory of that. Yeah, they're like actors on set. Yeah. And there's like, so you're a contestant, you get this thing, but then like you're given tasks. So like you're all in this one room, and then it's like, you have to go and like the electricity's gone off. Now you need to go and like pump the generator, which is across the lot. Fun. It was such a cool thing. It's called I Survived a Zombie Apocalypse. Like a large scale, like escape room kind of thing. 100%. And then you have to go out, but you have to dodge zombies. And then there was a challenge, I think, where there was like 5 of them left. Like if a zombie touches you, you're out. Like basically it's like a game of tag. If a zombie touches you, you're out. Yeah. But they can only move a certain way as well. So like they can't always run full force at you, because obviously that depends on how good of a runner you are. But they have to run a certain style. So they have all these actors paid on set to just like you're treated like you're in a zombie apocalypse and stuff. I highly recommend watching that if you're interested, because it's not at all about like
sounds awesome, honestly.
Drama, yeah, it was really interesting. Oh, so there's the challenge was 5 of them left or something, and they had to move from an area to like area A to area B, and they had to pretend to be zombies, and you have to do it so well that the actors around you think that you're also actors for zombies.
Gotcha.
And if anybody caught you, like if anybody thinks like had a suspicion that you weren't one of them, you'd be out. That was interesting.
Oddly enough, there's a scene in The Walking Dead where they do the same thing.
Oh, really? Does it work?
Well, it's like in the early first season, I believe. Somebody can correct me on this. There's a part where the characters in the show realize that the zombies have a sense of smell. And if you smell like a zombie, they don't notice you. So they actually like cover themselves in zombie guts.
Okay.
And then walk through a crowd of zombies. But like it starts raining and like it starts washing off the guts, and then the zombies start to like notice them.
Suck. Oh shit. Shit. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, I think that's in the first season. I think it's really early on.
Yeah.
Back when it was about the zombies and trying not to die.
Yeah. Well, do you remember like when like throwing all the way back to Retro Replay when they were playing through The Last of Us, and then I think it was Troy, Ethan, and Nolan were on the set. So Crank Gameplays was on, and it was that episode. I think they were talking about the zombie apocalypse and something, and Nolan was just like, if a zombie apocalypse hit, like I'm out. Like I know I'm not going to survive this. Yeah. So I think they were talking about like, you know, in terms of like being suicidal that way. And I don't mean like taking your own life. It's more like, I'm just not even going to run. Like there's just no point. I am definitely not going to win. Yeah. That's always stuck with me. I'm like, that's hilarious. I've never heard somebody have that point of like view where they're just like, I would never survive. Just kill me. Like, just let a zombie get me. It seems like they're having fun. They're not scared of anything. And, you know, yeah, I was like, okay. And he kind of reiterated the same statements in this week's episode as well. So I don't know. That always stuck with me. I thought it was very interesting. I would try to survive.
Yeah. I mean, I've been thinking about hypothesizing what I would do in a zombie apocalypse probably since I was like 10 years old playing the first video games. Yeah. You know, like Hunter the Reckoning. I remember playing that game as a kid and being like, well, if a zombie apocalypse busted out right now, I would have to, you know, and like making it a challenge with my friends. Like you can choose one weapon, like one gun and one melee weapon. What do you choose? And it was like, oh, I'd want like an assault rifle and a katana. And sure enough, that's like Michonne from Walking Dead's all about the katanas. And everyone thinks she's like the most badass character.
Maybe she is. I don't know.
Been playing that game.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, true fact. Adam, to this day, will never go on a theme park ride or in a theme park experience that has zombies. So, for example, just across from the London Dungeons years ago, there was a zombie experience across the road, and it's basically the same thing. It's London Dungeons with zombies. So, like you're in like different rooms and stuff like that. True to self, Adam will never go into one of those experiences, just in case. Just in case one of them
just in case
real.
Somebody happens to actually be a zombie.
Yep. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Because that's how it starts. That's 100%
that is
how
what
it
he
starts.
said. That is what he said. He's like, no, just never. I was like, okay, all right. I think it's a silly thing, but okay. Yep. To this day,
I think
never
my favorite
will ever
thing in
do
any
something like that.
game, movie, or television show that revolves around zombies, there's always that moment where somebody comes across the body and has that like really ignorant bit where they're like, hey, are you okay? And they grab the person who ends up being a zombie and they turn and bite them. And you're like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Do you have any sense of self-preservation?
Right. I feel like, I mean, I understand how kind-hearted you are and you want to help somebody be in that situation. You're going to look after yourself. Like, just they're gone. They're goners. If they're on the floor and they're bleeding, take care, buddy. It's been nice knowing you.
They have very zombie-like features.
Oh, yeah.
Let's assume.
Or if they're like, you know,
it with a stick at least.
Shoot it in the leg, see if it moves.
Perfect. That sounds like the best solution.
That's the best solution. Because if it's a person, then you'd be like, oh shit, sorry. And if it's a zombie, you'd be like, oh,
sorry.
Well.
I was right.
Yeah. Or the typical,
I see Adam doing that. Like, I was right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what he'd do. Yeah, I feel like the typical zombie moments in the movies is about that where they're like groaning like a zombie or moaning like a zombie and they're just approaching that person being like, hey, is everything okay? It's like, are you kidding? Have you never seen any pop media culture about zombies before? And you're approaching the person that's going, you're like, you think that's okay? Like, you think that's cool? Throw a rock. Poke a stick, like just fucking be long distance. Be like the person who accepted the award at the Game Awards and stood outside the window.
Yeah, right. Like behind the glass.
That's going to be a meme. You know, that's going to be a meme. That was fantastic.
Well, it was like Shaun of the Dead made that joke too.
Oh yeah.
There was a part in where somebody was walking and they're going, and people are just like, what's wrong, mate? You know, but it was actually like, you know, just Sean, just like, oh, he was just yawning.
Yeah. Being tired. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good film.
Yeah, but then like, he's like, yeah, I love Shaun of the Dead. It's easily one of my favorite, like dark comedies.
Yeah.
So good. Sure. And then there's like the roommate turns and they're like, are you okay? You know, and he starts trying to bite him and he's like, what's wrong with you? You know, like,
yeah.
He's trying to bite you. Like something is wrong.
I know. It's really funny. And then it ends with like his best friend on like a chain. Being a zombie on a chain. Friend. I love it.
He's still like trying to play the video game. Like, Grr.
That's a great. It's just a great film.
What are we doing? Where are
we? We are talking about Ross Marquand.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Oh yeah, that guy. That guy that was amazing impressions and is super talented.
He does. His list of voices he can do is crazy.
I saw the Brad Pitt was interesting. I've never seen somebody do a Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt was really good. Yeah, I was going to say really I've never heard anyone do a Brad Pitt before. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna have to look back at like Robot Chicken because I love Robot Chicken, and he probably did a bunch of voices on that show. Probably. As far as like, he probably did all of the like Harrison Ford's. Where I'm like, is that Harrison Ford? It sounds like Harrison Ford, but. Yeah. It might not be him. I can't really tell. Yeah. And shout out to him to being the Red Skull in Infinity War and not knowing it wasn't Hugo Weaving.
Right.
Like I thought it was Hugo Weaving.
I thought it was Hugo Weaving. 100% thought it was Hugo Weaving.
Mm-hmm.
When I found that out, like when I knew he was coming on the show, I was like, what? Like,
wait, what?
What? Yeah, that's cool. That was, yeah. What the fuck? Holy shit. He's good at impressions. What am I say? Yeah, this is going to wrap it up for us today. We're running over a little long. So I'm going to throw it out there for socials. Dan, where's anybody can find you at, please?
For sure. You can find me at Stark Evil Vash on just about every platform, except for Twitter, where I am Stark Evash, StarkyVash. So feel free to follow me or check out what I've got going on there on Twitch and or the Instagrams. So those are the ones.
Nice. You can find me on socials at Pagan Plays on Twitter, at Pagan_plays on Twitch and Instagram. Those are the most active socials, so feel free to follow me there. Just to throw out as well, if you guys have any membership questions for Retro Replay, send them to members@retroreplayshow.com, and we will be able to get back to you and answer those questions as well and set you up for the website, etc.
Pagan will get them answered.
And I will get them answered in a day or so because time zones, like, just give me a break. No.
Or attempt to ask me and I will not be able to answer your question because I don't know.
Yeah. You can just DM one of us. It's fine. We will get you the answer if you have questions about membership or the Retro Replay show in general. And lastly, thank you so much for Retro Replay, for everything you do, because without you, this show would not be possible. We would not be here talking about you right now. Find us on Facebook and Twitter at The Replayer Podcast. We relaunch episodes every Wednesday on all the favorite podcasting platforms as well as YouTube. And you can also find us now over at retroreplayshow.com, the new Retro Replay Show website. We have our own little section on there, so you can feel free to click in, find out more about the show and this week's episode, and then it'll give you links to watch or listen.
Find our little pocket on their website on Retro Replay.
It's under podcasts. Major hint. Big hint.
Under the podcast.
Under podcasts. Yeah.
In case you didn't know.
Just in case you were wondering, like, what does podcast mean? That's us.
The what now?
And the Retro Replay Podcast, of course. Thanks for joining, everybody. Bye.
Thank you guys for listening to our nonsense. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this. Game over, folks. Bye.
And game over.